The Chicago, Trump said he ready to send the National Guards out there. Chicago better, they better watch out now. Trump said he's sending the National Guards out there. Let me see. Let me see. Hold up. Hold up. Chi-Town. Chi-Town. Damn. Chicago been out of control for a while. They about to send the National Guards out there. Yeah. We all know Chicago off the hook. Yeah. Chicago off the hook. Let's see what they talking about, man. Hit that subscribe button and smash that like button.
According to the Washington Post, the Pentagon has been planning a military deployment to Chicago for weeks. The Post also reporting that plans could involve several options, including sending at least a few thousand members of the National Guard to Chicago as soon as next month. The Washington Post also reporting that there have been talks about using thousands of active duty troops in Chicago, but reports that plan is less likely to happen. Threats to deploy the National Guard to Chicago could come to fruition, according to the Washington Post, with possible plans to deploy as soon as September. This is all in support of what President Trump says is a crackdown on crime. National Guard troops have already been deployed in Washington, D.C., and this comes after Trump Friday alluded to Chicago being the next target. Despite these calls, Chicago police data shows violent crime is down in comparison to this time last year. Mayor Brandon Johnson had this to say at a block party earlier today.
One shooting, one homicide is one too many. And that's why this block club today is so powerful, because it's a reminder of how much work we have to do. Look at all of these young people and these families that are here today. This is who Chicago really is. What's being painted by the federal government is false. We love one another. We support one another. We put our arms around one another. We invest in one another because we know that we are our best keepers of one another.
Governor J.B. Pritzker saying in a statement tonight, in part, quote, Donald Trump is attempting to manufacture a crisis, politicize Americans who serve in uniform, and continue abusing his power to distract from the pain he is causing working families. And Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton referencing the Washington Post directly tonight, saying President Trump is trying to, quote, create chaos. Both Stratton and Pritzker say the state has not received any requests or outreach from the federal government asking for assistance, and say in return, the state has not asked for federal intervention.
Hold up. They trying to make it seem like that Chicago doesn't need assistance. Now, I ain't agreeing with that. I'ma just keep it real. All the shootings that's going on there, people being knocked off left and right. Now, it's like they want the things to continue there. How they saying it, the people out there saying that Chicago don't need no assistance, they should want the crime to get put under control and not just allow the things that been taking place. We all just watched a man get unalived on Facebook Live like it was nothing. You know, like, I think sometimes these people just be saying stuff. Like, if it's going to stop the violence, why wouldn't you want that? That ain't affecting you. Y'all worried about the personal feeling instead of saying, all right, this is going to help our crime rate. You know, let them bring the National Guards in for a period of time to stabilize the crime. They acting like they want the crime to continue to keep being crime. Like, hold up, man. Yeah, like, man, I really think that doesn't, that don't make no sense what they saying. That for me, listening to him, that don't make no sense at all. Straight up. Yeah. We all can see that Chicago has a problem. And it's had a problem for a long time. Yeah. They worried about every little thing that the president's doing. In this situation here, I agree. I'm just saying, the National Guard's going to Chicago. I agree. You know what I mean? I don't know how other people feel in the world, but I agree with the National Guards going to Chicago. The way these people are just knocking each other off and acting like it's normal, you know, they got people bragging about how these things take place in Chicago. Come on, man. Listen, sometimes you got to put your foot down to take some effect. So, yeah, I agree. Any place that's out of pocket and the crime is uncontrollable and it's accepted as if that's normal, the National Guard should be there. It's the only way to bring things back under control. You ain't going to just bring it under control with you hoping that people stop shooting each other. You got to get some order. Straight up. Forget all your personal feelings about the president and what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing on certain things. But if it's crime being committed in certain cities and states, the only way to stop it is to put pressure down. People getting locked up for homicides, that ain't fixing it. Niggas is still carrying straps. And from my understanding, it's like the norm to have a strap in Chicago. If you ain't got a strap, you like an eyeball. So if these young kids gotta have straps just to go outside, the National Guard needs to show up. You know, I think, you know what I mean, those people like this dude that just said what he said, he's a part of the problem. He's not a part of the solution. Go take yourself on those blocks where people are just being smoked for no reason and see if you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Don't be living in the suburban area where it ain't going down at and then just say, man, let them keep doing what they doing and knocking each other off and they'll be all right. Nah, go move in that environment and let us know how you feel when you keep seeing people get shot daily and think that's normal. Nah. I think the National Guards needs to go to Chicago. You know, that's how I feel. Straight up. The National Guards should be deployed wherever crime is out of control. Why is black people so accepted with crime just being crime? Like, damn. But then when somebody in your family is affected by the crime, you want people to sympathize and rally with you and stop the violence. Why not get on top of the situation while you have a president that's willing to put some pressure on the situation? Like, I ain't understanding that. I'ma just be real. I'm not understanding that. That dude that just said that, I think he's a goofy. And I'm just like, that doesn't even make sense. That don't even make sense in my eyes, you know? President saying, I'm going to deploy the National Guards. He said, oh, you don't need to come here. Man, be quiet, man. Be quiet, man. Man, those people shouldn't be spokesmen for the urban community. You shouldn't have, not at all. I would love to say something to that brother. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Where's your mind at? People out here losing their life daily. Come on, man. Chicago got like 200 murders this year. 200 murders this year, maybe a little more, right? And you don't think that the National Guards needs to be, deployed out there to try to give some order? Like, man, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm just keeping it a buck. It's crazy. Yeah. And then it be black people that be like, oh yeah, we all right. Nigga, we not all right. I'm not agreeing with that. There's people in them communities that don't feel safe going to the store. They just living with it because they don't know nothing else. They don't feel safe going to the store. They don't feel safe going outside the house. They don't feel safe nowhere. But they dealing with it because they don't know nothing else but that area. And you acting like you don't want the president, man. Trump, get the National Guards to every city that got a lot of violence and destruction. I'm backing that. You hear me? Straight up. Where the violence and destruction is, get that under control. Scare the people to try to sway the way that they thinking. These places is known for violence. And the niggas say we don't need the National Guard. God damn. That is crazy that they really saying this. Like, hold up. Like, man, I'm as the voice gets loud with SBGB TV, I'm telling you, when we get louder, I'm saying that. I'm saying stuff about that. And listen, man, I don't care if the man white or whatever he's done to certain people and, made people upset about certain things, but to stop the violence, like, how can you be against that? How can you say anything else but bring them, man? Let's get this under control here. This is out of control. Straight up. This is crazy. Like, yeah, it's people that would never go to Chicago. Like, hold up. I ain't going there. It's too much violence. I ain't going there. Hold up. And he's sitting in the middle of Chicago where he probably don't live at. He just said we don't need that here. Who's we though? Who came up with that decision as we? That's you saying that. The community not saying that. I know the community not saying we don't need help here. Yeah, I think somebody should call that dude out. Somebody in Chicago should call that dude out. Like, whoever that dude was, like, yo, you not speaking for us? Hold up. Yeah, go stand on the block where it's going down at, where somebody just got their wig split, and you tell me if you felt safe. Oh, don't do that. Don't go in front of the camera and act like everything's cool. And they do that. They'll go in front of the camera and act like everything is cool, but in all actuality, everything is out of control. Come on, man. But soon as somebody in their family is affected by the situation, then they want to address it. We need to stop the violence. Oh, you ain't putting no programs in place to stop the violence, and we know it's going to stop it. The National Guards coming there is going to put the pressure on it. At least it's going to put a Band-Aid on it for a second. I guarantee you, the National Guards coming there and shutting stuff down is going to make the people that live there have a time to remember when the violence slowed down. Violence been at this high pace for so long, people forgot about the time that it was peaceful. Yeah, it's probably people that ain't never seen a peaceful time there. They just so used to it. You know, that's my take on that, man. And people that speak like that man speaking, man, I really don't think they should have the position to speak. Like, you shouldn't have no position, man. Yeah, get out of here, man. Yeah, you make the black, culture look bad. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, those people make the black culture look bad. You're not a representation of us. You see things as wrong and you acting like you don't see it. That's just what I was saying when I spoke on that yesterday. These type of people will see situations that are wrong and act like they don't see it until it affects them. Nigga, get on it while you see it's wrong. Get on it. Then maybe if you get on it and fix the situation, it'll change the direction. Like, the policies that you doing ain't working. Like, man, crazy. Hit that subscribe button, man. Smash that like button, man. It's out of pocket, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share the video. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Now.